Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chair Barber, Chair Aldridge, and members of the committee. My name is Fadel. I'm Deputy Director at Citizens for Juvenile Justice, and I'm here to testify and rep for Coral Pleaseville. Thank you very much. Following in Melissa's footsteps. So in 2018, the legislature in the criminal justice law gave authority to judges to divert young people, saying, you know, if a young person is not had not committed a serious offense, but if they're going to have, if you want to hold them accountable, can you hold them accountable in a community-based setting rather than using the courts and detention and having a criminal record and adjudication as a consequence? That was a wonderful and great experience, authority. In last fiscal year, in the court data shows that only 18% of cases that actually got arraigned ended up with an adjudication. So we're talking about 82% of kids have a court record but are never found delinquent. So we can do better. Despite the 2018 law, Black and Latino youth are still overrepresented at every decision point. But one thing we do not talk about is the overrepresentation of kids in the foster care system. Enough, we're talking more about it, as well as kids who are trafficked. We have absolutely no data on kids who are trafficked, so it doesn't happen until kids are committed to DYS, they're legally adjudicated, and then DYS can ask what's going on, and that's when some of that information comes up. For foster kids, they represent 0.6% of the youth population in Massachusetts aged 12 to 17. They make up 50% of kids who are detained in DYS. They make up 30% of kids who are committed to DYS. When you break it up by gender, girls are twice as likely as boys to be DCF involved compared to those who aren't. So we have to ask, when do we ask that question? Judicial diversion allows judges to start that question before we get the record, before we get the detention, before they get adjudication, and then having DYS ask at commitment. And that's what we're asking. Unfortunately, our law is designed not by centered around the youth, it is centered around the offenses. So those offenses that the legislation carves out, it's a handful of them, but because Massachusetts does not have degrees as other states, these offenses do encompass a wide range from those that are low level to more serious under the same statute. We just want that, so this legislation just gives the ability to have a child make that case and talk about this is why, and can I have a community-based intervention address the underlying need, because if that's eventually what the ruling of the court would be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.